it's Tony, your Pop Pop's Workshop. And not this last video, but the video before, we talked about the new robot, the CNC in the shop, and some initial problems with that. So we're going to show you the first thing we tried with it. And I learned a valuable lesson about when you change design, you have to re-zero everything. So it went off there, but not bad. Just a simple piece of plywood. You can fill that with epoxy, and that'd be kind of cool if that were where it was supposed to be. But let you follow along, and we'll go through what we've gotten done so far, and you'll see my attempt at a finished product on some white oak. Okay, so did a quick design. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure this out. So it's just a simple plaque. I'm going to cut it into this plywood. It's one of their templates for a hand plane and Pop Pop's Workshop across the top. I can change the font later when I've done the test run. So this is a complete test run. I started with the air cut to kind of make sure everything was kind of go where it should go. So now we're going to turn on the spindle, fire this up, and see what happens. Here we go. Gonna get loud, so we may want to brace our ears for this one. Okay, so the first trial run was successful failure. I changed what I was going to do here, different design and everything, and didn't recalibrate everything there, and somehow stuff got shifted. I need to treat this more like painting. You know, painting is 90% prep and 10% actually painting. So I figure the CNC is a lot like that. Making sure my measurements, the board is absolutely centered, side to side, front to back. Get my Z zeroed out, my X, the Y, the whole 9 yards. Get all that stuff done. And if I change what I'm doing, start the whole process over again. Assume that nothing's going to work and go back and start from scratch. Also got to figure out how to be able to change the font on these templates. A couple of them aren't working, or I don't know how to make them work, but they're templates. So I talked to the rep about that one and just see if there's something I'm not doing or something I'm not seeing. Learning curve, all learning curve. So guys have been doing this for a long time. Maybe you'll see this and go, hey goofball, it's over here. I appreciate it. You can call me goofball, it's okay. So yeah, it's a plane. So yeah, nice trial run. So I like the design. If I could change the font, that'd be great. But I could take a nice piece of oak or something and carve that out. Even I could even use this by just cutting off the bottom. So you can see it just needed to go that way a little bit more. If I'd have shifted the board, we'd have been fine. But yeah, so not bad for the first attempt. Okay, so you saw our successful failure. And as I said, this is completely on me. I changed the graphic I was using, which then changes the layout, and I did not recenter the bit for that layout, recenter my X, Y, Z, you know. The prep work, we talked about painting earlier, the prep work, I didn't do it. Okay, so that's on me, but otherwise it turned out pretty good. So then We're onto the white oak. And yeah, not so good. This, again, this is on me. I did not, in prep work, speaking about prep work, I did not clamp properly enough. And this turned this way on the bed. And once it turned, the bit just kept traveling the way it was and just cut out. And yeah, prep work. If I can pass anything on to new CNC guy, prep work. Make sure you have all that figured out in your head, how you're going to clamp it, your layout. Did you get your X, Y, and Z axis set for what you're doing now? Don't assume that the next thing, if you change anything, is going to work right. Change something, reset everything. Just do that. Trust me. So then at partway through this car, the software just shut down. It just stopped. And I couldn't figure it out. It was boggling my mind. Plus the upper lettering, I don't know if you can see it, but it just didn't cut in. It just didn't cut in. So and yeah, there's a little bit of a bow there, but not, when this cuts so deep, that doesn't really compensate for why that turned out the way it did, because I did zero my X or my Z. So it should have been right. So I was having problems. Like I said, I wasn't able to find fonts to change my font. Upper text on one of the templates wasn't working. So I shout out to Next Wave, Greg Tam, great guy. Greg got on a Google Teams meeting video with me. He was sharing his screen so I could see some stuff. And I just said, hey, wait. I don't have all that. As it turns out, I'm missing some templates. I'm missing the ability to change fonts. That box isn't even an option on my screen. And in one template that has upper and lower text, I have no ability to change the upper text. And so we're just, figuring out that somewhere in the download process, probably on me again, I didn't get a complete download, or I got a ineffective download. It was buggy. So I'm going to have to scrap that out of the laptop and re-download it. And again, speaking of prep work, I'm going to have to babysit it and make sure that the download goes all the way. But because I was able to talk with Greg, when I load this up again and go into the design software, I will know immediately if I just have software that's not going to upload or if it was my problem in the initial upload. So right away, I'll know which way to go. And I know I won't have any trouble if there's an issue getting a hold of the guys at Next Wave and getting it figured out, even if it has to be IT. I'm confident that they'll get it done. So would I recommend this machine for somebody just starting out CNC? Absolutely. This doesn't have all the bells and whistles. The software is very basic, but that's me. I'm very basic. I'm very beginner to this. So I need to go through the process, learning how to clamp the thing down for one, right? Setting zeros on X, Y, Z, making sure that your design turns out the way you thought it would, and all the little things that you need to learn without adding the complication of now I want to import this or I want to design that. Those are things that later on, when I'm ready, I can get Vectric will work with this. I can get Vectric put on the laptop and it'll work with this machine just fine. And then I can do all those other things. First, we learn to crawl. Then we will learn to walk. So again, get one of these if you're thinking about getting into CNC work. There's lots of options. There's lots of things you can do, tweaks, borders, banners, all kinds of cool things that you can make just with the files that are in this software. It's amazing. I didn't have a lot of it, but when I saw everything that's there, blew my mind. So get that machine if you're thinking about getting into CNC work. I'm happy that you've taken your time to watch me ramble and fail through this, but it will turn out to be successful. I will get this figured out and I will get some cool things made on this CNC. And then we go from there. So we got some robots in the shop. We're going to do some things with robots. We're going to do other projects. Despite my limitations, whether they're physical or up here, right? We're going to get this taken care of. So thanks again for following along. Hopefully you're not having too many problems in your shop. If you are, welcome to the club. And remember, you can do this.